Okay, so I think I figured out what is wrong. As you can see, the shaft still moves. Um, I don't believe it's the clutch. When I fired it up, this was moving pretty good, so I think I found out what the problem was. This are the little dampering pads, and as you can see, they sheared off the little posts that they hold on to on the spur gear holder, as you can see right there. So what I'm going to do is, I already ordered another set, so in the meantime I'm going to play around with this. What I did was I took my, hold on one second, I took my JB Weld plastic bonder. It's supposed to be high strength. I've used it on a couple things before. It worked pretty good. Some things it does not work on. So what I'm going to attempt to do is, we're going to leave these dampeners out, probably throw them away. They're all chewed up and nasty. But we're going to stick this together like so. See if we can get it to bond. And after it sets for a while, as you can see, it's got some of the plastic bonder coming out the other side. So as long as the bonder will work and hold, I have some other glue that I could put on there to kind of test it out, see if maybe we can get a decent lock in there, kind of like what I did to the HPI Savage when I did the transmission locker. I locked into gear. I filled it with plastic bonder, and I also filled it with a screw or something. I drilled something through, but it held very, very well. So I'm hoping to have about the same result with this one, and if it works, we'll leave it in there for a while and kind of play around. Now, what I also did was, we're going to be replacing, when the new stuff comes in, this gear right here. So I ordered a 50-24 setup. Right now I currently have a 57, and I believe that's 17. So that should be quite a bit of improvement. Give me a lot more top end, which would be way more than enough for this truck right now. Again, later on I was thinking about a 2-speed, this and that. I don't know that I'm going to go that route, so this was a fairly expensive or inexpensive fix. So I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens. I'm going to clean up all this stuff here before I reinstall it, obviously, but yeah, it's looking like this might actually do something. So that was the damage report from the last outing. We also had a link over here that likes to pop off this 2-wheel steer. I'm not sure exactly what to do about that one yet. I know there's probably things I can get to go on that pillow ball in, maybe like a washer or something for the top, and a bolt to go on the bottom, or to go through it or whatever. To be honest with you though, I want certain places to pop and bend and break and that kind of stuff. It keeps all the metal parts from getting warped and bent and everything else. As you can see, my chassis is still very straight. I did bend this up here before, so my plan was to originally upgrade all this stuff here to metal, and I've kind of changed that because I think I need somewhere for all this power to kind of flex, when it actually hits a jump, or hits a hard bump or whatever. So that's kind of the plan for right now. I still got a little bit off on the steering here. I gotta figure out what's going on here. This continually pops out, so I think this piece right here might be a little wore out. I'm going to dive into that off camera, but as you can see, there's definitely a separation there, which is giving me a really nasty camber, or whatever the hell you call that. Because if you look at the truck, get the wheel straight here, look at the truck, that one's fairly straight, right? When you look over here, and this one's bowed out a little bit, but I don't want to set the link right because it's got a nasty toe out on the bottom, and that's all due to up here the bolt not wanting to stay in properly. So I think maybe I've stripped something, or it should be really cheap to fix this. It's probably this end piece here. I'm thinking it is because there should be something to hold it back. And as you see on this one here, see how it's nice and thick and it just holds in there nice. Well, this one looks like it's starting to kind of like cave in a little bit. So maybe it's the arm, the upper arm, or maybe it's this. I don't know. We're going to dive into that later. But that is the damage report from the last outing. And seriously, I couldn't be happier. This thing is amazing. We're going to give this some time to dry and hopefully set in like I want it to. And then what we're going to do is we're going to slap it on there and just kind of run it around the yard for a minute and make sure it actually works. We're not going to get crazy with it, but I'm debating on whether to give this too much of a run. You know, I know that the bonder works really well on a lot of things, but there is a whole lot of stress right there. I mean, it's not like it's going to hurt anything, so I don't know. I may just, you know, try to run it and see what I can get away with. But regardless, we're going to give that a shot and see what happens.